Welcome, everyone, to Sports Shorts Daily. Ronnie Rance alongside Tommy Christ and TK joining us from Tremonti's Meat and Seafood in Baton Rouge, right off of Airline near Parkview Baptist High School. Go check out Tremonti's. Also, we've asked you to please share, please like and share this video. Mainly share. Number one, if you're going to do any of the one, do that one. Today on Sports Shorts Daily, we're going to continue to talk about the wrestling story that's developing, which is professional golf. I mean, this is WWE versus WCW, but on an even bigger scale, and it's even becoming more like wrestling with all the comments and things off the field. The press conferences are maybe as good as the golf, actually, or maybe better than the golf. U.S. Open this week, a lot of comments about the Live Tour. We'll get into that in a little bit. Also, LSU baseball news this week. They pick up a starter for next year on their team. They pick up the two-time Big East Pitcher of the Year out of Creighton. So they went to Omaha to find a pitcher, and they got one. So they now have a starter, a guy who's a graduate transfer who will be coming in and has had tremendous success in the Big East. So they at least now have one starter to replace really the one starter they had in Mikhail Hilliard. So Jay Johnson on the recruiting trail himself personally. Unlike a lot of head coaches that send out all their assistants, he actually goes out as well. So that will be interesting over the next couple of weeks. We do know some more players are into the transfer portal. No real surprise there officially that Collier Cranford has entered the transfer portal, the former Zachary High shortstop who played a little third this year when Barry got hurt. And just a guy who good defensively, never really got it going offensively, and not really a surprise. I think when you looked at the roster, you thought that would probably happen. So some shakeup in college baseball. We'll talk plenty more probably college baseball on Friday with the College World Series starting that weekend. We'll still touch on it today. NBA Finals. So how they will do, we will see. If you're a big Celtics fan growing up like I was, it's do or die for the Celtics on the new parquet floor. And I think, Tommy, if the Celtics can win tonight.
Or it's tomorrow night.
Or is it tomorrow night? Yeah, tomorrow night, Game 6 at home. I mean, Game 7's Game 7. I don't know that there's that much of an advantage for Golden State per se. I think there's more of an advantage at home for Boston. But I hope there's a Game 7. I don't care what the sport is, whether it's hockey, badminton, whatever. When it's the final game, winner take all, I'm all in. So I'm hoping we have a Game 7.
Yeah. Game 6 will be Thursday night in Boston. And if Boston wins, Game 7 is Sunday night out on the West Coast. And I'm like you. Game 7, that's two magical words. I don't care if it's basketball, baseball, even hockey. You get all excited about Game 7. It's kind of a thing. I wish I'd have trademarked that thing, Game 7. Also, Ronnie, we didn't mention this earlier when you and I were prepping, but the New Orleans Saints OTAs, everybody's in camp. There are no holdouts, even the guys that are expecting discipline like Kamara and a few others. And then another key story, maybe one of the biggest stories, Will Lutz, the place kicker, has been completely cleared physically and should be good to go, unless something else happens. And we'll talk more Saints when they finish the OTAs, but they're getting a lot of excitement in New Orleans.
Let's get to the first topic. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention this. New Orleans Pelicans Jackson Hayes sentenced to probation community service following his July 2021 arrest in Los Angeles. So literally almost a year ago. He was sentenced Tuesday to 3 years of probation, 450 hours of community service, which is a real big deal, and a year of weekly domestic violence cases for a scuffle with officers responding to a domestic violence call last summer in Los Angeles. We kind of forgot about that because so many topics pop up in the world of sports. And of course, Hayes has had a very good year. His future's super bright. He's only 22 years old. He's also going to sentencing came the 8th overall pick out of Texas, pleaded no contest on February 24th to misdemeanor counts of false imprisonment and resisting arrest. He'll be ordered to pay yet to be determined restitution as well to Los Angeles City's attorneys as well. So A little 3 a.m. domestic violence case a year ago. Never a good thing. Let's hope that he learns from it and that never happens again. But 450 hours of community service, that's in a 3-year probation. It's really no slap on the wrist, to be honest with you. But let's get to the live golf topic, and I just can't get enough of it, Tommy. I mean, you don't even have to be a golf fan to like this. It's equivalent on a different way, but it's equivalent to say the NFL, USFL battle, or any of the basketball battles back in the ABA and NBA, AFL, NFL, but even on a bigger scale than that, Tommy, because those you felt like maybe didn't have a chance. Live could survive if they want to say, throw away money as long they've got all the money to throw away as long as they want. So it doesn't have the model doesn't have to necessarily make money right away. They can outlast the PGA Tour. I'm just interested in the off the field. The press conference yesterday, Rory McIlroy was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's calling it an exhibition tour, and he said when he was a kid, his daddy told him, if you make your bed, you got to lay in it. He's thinking these golfers got to lay in the bed they've made. John Rahm came out and said he was offered a lot of money. He didn't say a number. He said he talked to his wife about it. He said he doesn't ever have to make another dollar, and he's financially set. And I can believe that if he's done the right stuff with his money. He said, 54-hole golf tournament with a shotgun start to me is not a pro golf tournament. It's an exhibition. Jay Monahan, commissioner of the PGA Tour, in an interview with Jim Nantz during the Canadian Open last Sunday, called it an exhibition tour, which, we get to December and you got those 2-man team things and the father and son things. We call it the silly season or exhibition golf. It's not, real events, or you got the 3-man teams or the men versus the women. We've seen that over the years. They're trying to put that into the same category. The difference being, as you said, Ronnie, the deep pocket of money, almost unlimited resources of money for live golf. I think we're going to have to let this thing unpackage, or the famous Rants 13 quote, let it play out. I think we're going to have to wait until 1 month, 2 months. Let's get all the majors past us. Let's see who else plays live golf. And then here's what I thought about last night, Ryan. When's the first person, or who, if the first person, I'm going to just be hypothetical here. What if Dustin Johnson all of a sudden says, I made a mistake. I'm going back to the PGA Tour, or a Patrick Reed or Taylor Gooch. I mean, anybody, if one person does it, I don't know. I mean, so there's a lot yet to be happening, but I'm like you. I'm all into this story. It's kind of like, the fight on the playground at recess when you were in 3rd grade. Everybody's taking sides and pointing fingers and making comments, talking smack. And then all of a sudden the teachers get there and you got to figure it all out, right? Or you got to go back to class. We'll see what happens. But it's significant that the U.S. Open starts tomorrow. Golf's national championship. I mean, all golfers want to win major tournaments. And we got the 122nd United States Open at the country club outside of Brookline, Massachusetts. We've seen clips of all the press conferences. Brooks Koepka came out and said, hey, I'm tired of talking about live golf. Let's talk about the U.S. Open. Let's cover that. This is the major championship. Let's cover the U.S. Open. That's what Brooks Koepka was talking about. So it's like a bunch of kids fighting on the playground at recess. We'll just have to wait and see how this thing plays out and unfolds. In the meantime, I look forward to watching the U.S. Open. I've always done that. I've been to a U.S. Open at up outside of Pittsburgh. I went to Oakmont when Angel Cabrera won the Open. I was there, saw several rounds of golf. U.S. Open is just different. It's a national championship. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Waiting on Ronnie to jump back in. I'll remind you, Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Today, the lunch special is lasagna. Kind of done with the crawfish now. Crabs coming soon. All the lunch specials, the Chairman's Reserve meats, the seafood, the wine, the whiskey. You can do it. They got catering. They can cater a small office party, a small event. They can cater a large event. And you go to the Tremonti's Facebook page. You got a special event coming up, Bourbon and Barbecue, on June 30th. That's a Thursday night. Bourbon and Barbecue. Great deal down there at Bub's Place behind Gulf Coast Occupational Medicine. That's coming up June 30th. Lots of stuff will be posted on that. And, again, we wait for Ronnie Rants to pop back in. Don't forget, the next 2 nights, the Rougarou are in town. They took one on the chin, couple of games against Acadiana. The last couple of nights, they're off tonight. But they got a home game Thursday, home game Friday. First pitch is 7 o'clock. Get your tickets and your merchandise for the Rougarou. Again, the Brazos City Bombers will be in town on Thursday night, and the Acadiana Cane Cutters will be in town Friday with the big fireworks show. Get your tickets, get your merchandise, get on out there to Goldsby Field. You need to get out there. Lots to do. The kids zone, to all the adult stuff, the party deck, the daiquiris.
The biggest thing, Tommy, is look. Let's not beat around the bush. It's Africa hot this time of the year. Roof, give you shade the whole time you're there. And also, we have the only refrigerated AC box in the country for fans to sit in. It's got 2-tiered seating. You can come in there and check out that AC refrigerator box. So that's the thing to do. So regardless of how hot it is, you're always going to be cool at Goldsby Field when you come to a Rougarou game. And then look, the kids have had a fantastic time. We've had nothing but compliments from people that have come out there. The kids love the ballpark, the amenities, the other kids that they get to play with as they're out there, get to run the bases and get a Raising Cane's meal during the game. Friday, we got fireworks during the game. Thursday nights, Throwback Thursday, we got retro pricing on popcorn and drinks and other things at the concession stand. So come on out. We hope to see you there this weekend. I wanted to comment before I got cut off there. I wanted to comment about what's going on with the LIV. Rory McIlroy said he thought that the golfers that were going to the LIV Tour were taking the easy way out. That was his quote. They're taking the easy way out. They're not having to really compete for their money, or they're having to not really, the field isn't as tough and the numbers aren't as big and you don't have to make the cut and all that stuff. I get it, Rory. I mean, I get it. Yeah, sure. Okay, you can say that. In this world, and let me put it into perspective of this, for example. If the average salary in the United States of America is $40,000 a year, or whatever the job, whatever that is, if somebody comes to you and says, we'll give you $50,000 a year, but instead of working 40 hours a week, you got to work 30 hours. I mean, is there anyone that's going to say no? Is there anyone that's going to say, no, I want to be loyal to my $48,000 a year job, working 40 hours a week because, they gave me the opportunity and I've been with them for 10 years. But I'm not going to take that $50,000 a year job, working 30 hours a week. So like that argument just doesn't fly for me. I get it, man. You want to be, for you to say that, but it's ridiculous. We're all trying to make more and work less. I mean, that's the international way. Make more money, work less hours. If you can do it, you're a winner. And that's what the LIV Tour is providing these golfers. Play less tournaments, play less rounds, work less hours, make more money. If it was an electrician, we wouldn't begrudge him, but somehow it's a golfer and we think less of him. Get out of here.
Well, a lot of people have said, if these golfers would just come out and say, well, I did this for the money, maybe that stops the questions, I mean, Ronnie, I've done it. You've done it. We know tons of people that made a decision based on money almost every day. Okay. Whether it's your job or whatever it might be, it's just part of the way we go. And then I get it when they're going to talk about the Saudi Arabians and the human rights and then the friends and families of 9/11. But Ronnie, every major corporation out there, they involved with charities and groups that you maybe don't like, but you still buy their product and service. I mean, it's the world we live in. I don't like ESPN because of their liberal mentality. I don't watch ESPN Sports, and I used to be glued to that. I mean, you didn't miss it kind of thing. Now I choose not to. But that doesn't mean there's a game on ESPN I want to see, or 30 for 30 or a particular show, then I'll go watch it. I just don't pay as much attention as I once did. But, I think people are making a lot out of it, but I agree that it is changing the world of professional golf right in front of our eyes.
Let's see. Byron's comments. Jay Monahan, of course, who's the head of the PGA Tour. His quote is Jay Monahan said they have an obligation to their long-standing sponsors and partners. How about we have fewer events with the sponsors teaming up to co-sponsor an event with a large purse? Yeah. I mean, like, they have an obligation to their sponsors. Well, that's between them and their sponsors. The golfers do not have an obligation to Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour. If their sponsor feels like they're getting the short end of the stick because they're playing the Live Tour instead of the PGA Tour, then that's a conversation between the golfer and their sponsor. Their sponsor can drop them, pay them less money, whatever. Chance saying they complain about the Saudis as they wear gear made by child labor in China. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, come on. As you pointed out, everybody's got ties to shady countries or regimes or something somewhere. I mean, heck, everything we put our hands on just about is made in China, and nobody has a problem with that. But somehow Saudis worse. Get out of here.
Well, and lots of people have different political views, different religious views. I mean, different morals, different ethics. I mean, that's across the board. I don't care where you're at or what you're doing, what type of business, what do you do for a living. I mean, it's there. And if you want to make an issue out of it, make an issue out of it. If you don't, focus on what you got to do for you and your family and all that good stuff. I mean, it gives us plenty to talk about, no doubt about that. But we'll see how it plays out.
The thing I'll say about this is I hope it's going to make all these tournaments fun. I would love to see the live golfers at some point, wear live polos or, some sort of ribbon indicating, represent live so that, they can identify the live tour golfers versus the PGA tour golfers whenever they face off in these, US Opens or British Opens or whatever the case may be. Oh, and then you got the fans booing the live golfers and cheering. I mean, I think it's great. It's great interest in golf. And anytime, golf outside of Tiger Woods, anytime golf can get interest when they don't have to just keep referencing him and showing him, that's a good thing. I think that crowds are going to be more into it and bigger now for these majors because of the storylines off the field. I really do.
Well, everybody's going to pick a side. You're either going to say, hey, I'm all behind the tour. I like McIlroy and Koepka and Rahm and Jordan Spieth and all them guys. Or you're going to say, hey, I'm all about, the guys doing what they want to do. It's a little interesting. One thing that's always been talked about, Ronnie, for going back to the 70s with the old World Football League, a TV contract. Can they survive without the exposure? Well, the internet has kind of changed that topic of a TV contract because right now, Live Golf is only streamed, which lots of things are only streamed. Rougarou baseball, you can get the stream Thursday and Friday night if you can't get to Goldie Field. But I'm just saying, they might not think they don't need TV. I don't know, But again, the money that they have is going to make it easier for them to hang around for longer.
A little story unrelated to golf that I just love. Were you a baseball card guy growing up? Did you collect baseball cards?
Do what?
Were you a baseball card guy growing up?
As a little kid, yeah, I was, and then I mailed them all to a cousin of mine, and they never got delivered. I think the post office clipped them.
Really? Well,
no, I had like a huge collection. I don't know how much it was worth. Probably maybe a little more than average.
But I mean, when did you how old were you when you mailed them?
I sent them to my cousin when I became like 15. I had like a 12-year-old cousin up in Wisconsin who was getting into it. And I said, I'm just going to give you mine. Mailed them to him the old-fashioned way. They never arrived.
Well, yesterday, Michael Jordan rookie card sold for $1 million at a Christie's auction. And, I'm interested in that because I was probably 12 years old when 13 years old, something like 12 or 13 years old when Michael Jordan went into the NBA. So, I mean, I would have been old enough to have a rookie card, had I been into it. A rare Michael Jordan rookie card sold with auction house Christie's for $1.008 million, including fees and premiums, a record for the 86-87 Fleer Jordan that set the sports card industry aflame in the wake of The Last Dance. So, yeah, I would have been, 13, about have been 16 years old back then. Fleer's 2006-2007 basketball was purchased by Fleer was purchased by Upper Deck in the mid-2005, included a 20th anniversary buyback autograph program. 23 numbered Fleer Jordan rookies were released, signed by Jordan into the 2006-2007 boxes, along with certificates of authenticity. This was number 21 of 23, and went for $1.005 million. I wonder where those other 22 are that are around the world there. But wow. I mean, and look, they have not only do they have the rookie cards and for all sports, but now they have the virtual cards, right? And I just don't understand that world. That's not the world that I'm in. I never was. I don't get it. I don't begrudge anyone for making tons of money on it. I hope everybody becomes a millionaire. But how about that? $1 million. And I had baseball cards, Tommy. I was more interested in the gum growing up than the cards, unfortunately.
I hear you. I never got heavy into that card. Memorabilia, Ronnie. I've had a handful of things, and there's only a couple of autographs that I've acquired when I could have had lots more. But I mean, I'll tell you, it's that short of a list. I got a Bobby Knight signed basketball that Bobby Knight gave me when I boiled crawfish at his house. I have a Billy Martin autographed book and poster because I had dinner with Billy Martin back in the 80s. And then I played golf with Whitey Ford, and I got him to sign a baseball. Other than that, I mean, I just don't, I just never, and obviously I could have collected lots of things, but I've been lucky to meet a lot of people, be at a lot of major sport events and all that good stuff. But I just was never into that big time like some other people.
Yeah, I don't understand it, Tommy, and we'll see what happens. But I love those stories, man. I love when people find the baseball card in the box, or they find that piece of art in the attic and make gazillions of dollars. Want to remind you to come out this Thursday and Friday night to Baton Rouge Rougarou games. It's over at Pete Goldsby Field. It's literally from the I-10 I-12 split in Baton Rouge to Goldsby Field when there's not like a 5 o'clock traffic. It was just normal. I mean, it's like 5-6 minutes to the ballpark. So it's super easy, right off the interstate, right by Memorial Stadium, 1,000 yards to the right of Memorial Stadium, right by the state capitol, easy on, easy off. Come check us out. Family fun. We've got the only, as we mentioned, refrigerated VIP box where all fans, all players, everybody of all ages can go in for free. 2-tiered seating. You get 50 people in there. Watch through the open glass. Go in and cool off during the game. We got daiquiris. We got ice cold beer. You name it, we got it. And looking forward. I know we've got a Ascension Parish baseball night coming up June 28th. That Tommy's a big part of, helps with Ascension Parish baseball. We also have USSSA night coming up July 1st. So, I mean, everybody out there that has connections to those organizations, you'll be getting emails, and we hope to see you there.
Well, Ronnie, I do want to mention this. One of our sponsors brought his son and his son's friend, teammates, on a travel ball team to the ballpark last week. And I spoke to the dad, Brad, who owns Eastern Services Crane Rentals. And he said the first thing his son said when they got in the car to leave to go home was, "Dad, when are we coming back?"
Right.
I want to come back to more games. This is an 11-year-old kid, and he wanted to come back to more games. He had so much fun running the bases and meeting college players and seeing Rouge, the mascot. I mean, they just were 90 to nothing. He said that was as much fun as his son and his little buddy had in a long time. So there's a message to you folks. The kid said, "Dad, when do we get to come back?" as he was leaving the park. It wasn't like, "Where are we going now? Can we do this? What are we doing tomorrow?" He wouldn't know when he was going back to see the Rougarou play. That's pretty strong.
Well, if you when the Rougarou are on the road, by the way, follow them at TexasCollegiateLeague.com. You can also click on the schedule on our website and brrougarou.com, and there's a little icon for the computer right there. You click on it, you can watch our games on the road or at home. But we hope you come out when we are at home, and we'll be on the radio 104.5 ESPN this Friday night.
Game. This Friday night, the game's on the radio. Damon Sunday and I spoke to Damon yesterday, Lions Sports Radio Network over there in Hammond. He's done a great job at Southeastern for a long time. And Damon and I will be on the call tomorrow night and Friday night. He's all fired up, ready to see the Rougarou play.
Tell us a little bit about Tremonti's as we get out of here.
Well, Tremonti's Meat and Seafood, I mentioned it when you had dropped off there a little bit, but a key thing to do is connect on Facebook and Instagram and learn about everything going on at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Website has all the info to tremontis.com, or connect with Tremonti's Meat and Seafood on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll always know what's going on. Lasagna is the lunch special today. Grandma's recipe. It's pretty good stuff.
He's Tommy. I'm Ronnie. We'll be back with more Sports Church Daily Friday. We'll talk a ton of College World Series on Friday. We'll get into all the teams. TK will make his prediction on what he thinks the finals will be and who will win it. I'll do the same. That's this Friday morning on Sports Church Daily. You don't want to miss it.
And yes, Sydney, I know the logo's upside down. That's why I put it there. Y'all have to check the promo logo. So Sydney with the heads up, great observation. Ronnie, I know you had time to look at it, but look at the 18 logos for Omaha for Friday morning. All right, folks, like and share this video. Huh?
You're going to get a letter from Texas. They don't like that.
Oh, well, I know that. So you saw they stopped somebody at the Women's College World Series. Somebody was singing the anthem and gave the horns down sign, and they kicked that person out of the park for an offensive display of the horns down. Are they that sensitive at Texas? They kicked this person. I sang the anthem, and they ejected him from the park for giving the horns down sign. The more they do that, the more horns down signs they're going to get. I mean, gee, wow. Yeah. See, look, he was banned from singing the anthem at the College World Series. Wow. Come on, Texas. Wake up. Try to win something one